Alright, so the method that we're using right now, about to learn something. The Summon Taukasauva, on its own, it runs out of charges. You have to use a Greek letter. You don't have to have all these other ones here. These are just, I just kind of have them there. Just a Greek letter, such as Tau. Cast a copy of the 2 following spells. It doesn't have to be that one. You could use this one, Alpha, cast a copy of the first spell on your wand. In this case, you would have to just move the Summon Taukasauva to the first spot on your wand. But whenever you cast it, like so, it's just a wand flying around. And that's, I mean, you need the wand right there. You can't pick up the wand until you kill the invisible ghost carrying that wand. And that's dangerous because these guys can sometimes get some really, really scary stuff on the wands. And they may shoot it at you if they deem you an enemy. That happens. Basically, the wands that you're summoning in, they fly around. This is good, so don't get me wrong. If something happens and this is the only method you know of to get wands, hey, that's better than nothing. It's just that risk of you doing something to irritate the wands is higher than you think. Hell, I don't even want to show you because I'm scared of doing something to piss him off. Because that guy's holding... It looks like electricity on this one. I think even if you step in like a pool of Berserkium, if I remember correctly, I think he may actually become my enemy just for having a Berserkium stain. There's little stuff like that. I don't know about that one if that still is the case. They may have patched that. But there's so many things that can piss these guys off that you don't always anticipate. So instead of using this method that is a little bit dangerous to farm wands, where you have to kill the wands after they're flying around, instead what you do is you find a wand that is trash, that you don't care about. It's on the ground. And then all you do is you, when you cast Summon Taukasauva, you just cast on top of this wand. And what will happen is, it kills the old wand and places a new wand in its place. And then when you do this, you can actually look for pretty great resources. Let's find something real quick. Trying to find something of interest so I can show you the main purpose of that. Chainsaw there. Can I recreate that? Did I? Oh, come on. I think I may have moved afterwards. Like a chump. Like a fool. I did. Oh well, we'll get another one. Oh, there's Deadly Heal. I'll take one Deadly Heal, actually. Hold up. You'll see why this is so good in a second. You haven't got to see the good part. Okay, so chainsaw right there, right? Chainsaw's pretty good. We love this. Now, we grab the chainsaw off of it. We place it here. Then we place the old wand back on the ground. It can be any wand, it doesn't matter. But I haven't moved my character at all. I haven't moved left to right at all. Got any crits left? I ate all the crits, Brobert. I'm sorry. I ate them all. So we're going to cast again. And what we're going to do is we're going to angle our cursor at what we think is the same angle that we had when we got that chainsaw. See? It's the exact same wand again. And so what this shows you is how the wands spawn in Noita. How it's actually dependent on your X and Y location. The X and Y location that the wand spawns in. So anything that you find on these wands, you can farm an infinite amount of them. So let me show you. So there's a pretty big pool. I mean, if you don't know the Summon Taukasauva pool, I can pull it up on the screen real fast, but I'll also link in the chat. It's a pretty good pool of spells. All of these spells right here are eligible to spawn on these wands. So yes, an add mana is on there. Why would you want chainsaws? Sigmantium, you better be trolling. ! Chainsaw if you're not trolling. But yeah, here's the link to this if you want to look over all the spells that can drop.
Oh, I really wish you guys could see this guy right now.
St. John, yo! St. John, thank you for the tier 1 sub. If you've been around in the Noita community for a while, and this is the first time, this is not directed at St. John. St. John, I appreciate the kindness. This is a separate statement. If you've been in the Noita community for a while, and you're like, well, this is the first time hearing about this, it's because over the years, the devs have made changes. Trying to nerf certain things, change how certain things work. And around the time that they decided it was there was a method of farming infinite gold, they decided it was too OP because all you needed was a pheromone flask and you could just get as much gold as you want. It's pretty broken. They made a wand selling mechanic where you can drop empty wands inside pheromone and it will sell the wand. You'll get gold in return. While creating this wand selling mechanic, they actually ended up creating this mechanic kind of inadvertently, which ends up being a wand swapping mechanic with Taikasauva. So it isn't that the devs necessarily intended for this specifically to be used this way, but it is, like, if they see it, they wouldn't be like, why is that happening? They'd be like, yeah, that makes sense why that is occurring. So basically, whenever I'm summoning in wands here, I summon like a little group. I don't move at all, and I kind of move my cursor back left and right, just trying to check the spawns of this area. If I don't like it, then I move forward a step, and then I begin to do it again in a new spot. And I continue to do this in spots when I'm looking for specific resources. This is just one method to farm the wands, by the way. Don't forget, there's other methods you can use. In fact, if you want, I could show you another one. This one is meant to keep your game a little less laggy, a little more clean. But I'll show you another one that's like, if you're just going balls to the wall and you're just like wanting to farm a fuck ton of wands really fast, I can show you that one. That one's kind of fun, but, you know, if your CPU struggles, you may not want to try that method. You're going to be like, oh, fuck. My game is lagging. So what we're looking for to show this method is we're looking for a rock. Why is it swapping wands and not summoning new ones? If Kuba's asking, I don't think that's bait. But basically, think of it like this. Kuba, you've been around a while. Do you remember the old method for farming infinite gold? How it happened? Because if anybody's been around for a while, the way it used to work was you would take an empty wand and you would place it in pheromone and it would summon in like an infinite amount of ghosts, and you could farm these ghosts and get gold. It was kind of like an accidental mechanic. Basically, they tried to make it where NPCs wouldn't pick up empty wands, because then players were abusing it. Like if you saw an enemy like an Uko or some shit that you were like, oh shit, that guy's kind of deadly, you could throw an empty wand at them to get them to hold it so that they weren't as deadly. They still will shoot off their Uko shot, and there are some enemies that really doesn't disarm them too much. Uko is probably not the best example. But the idea was, by giving them an empty wand, you made them a little bit less deadly. So they made it where when an NPC sees an empty wand, it ignores it. It's like, nope, I don't want that shit. And it leaves it. Well, that left in a whole problem where if you ever had, and this still exists in the game, where if you put pheromone on a wand, an invisible ghost spawns with it and tries to pick the wand up. And it flies around. It like makes the wand look like it came to life. And what players came up with, though, the trick is if you put an empty wand in the pheromone, an invisible ghost would spawn, but because it has that code that says, hey, don't pick up empty wands, it would leave it. Well, when it left it, another ghost would have spawned and not grab it. So then there was all these invisible ghosts that you couldn't see just spawning around. So you would get a tablet and just throw it in the air. And whenever you did this, you would just get free gold. I have a video on this. I mean, I can just quickly show you if you want to see what it looks like. Right here. The greatest flask in Noita patched. You can see it right here. So in this case, in this video, I grabbed enemy radar, because then it puts little targets on top of the ghost so you can see them. Otherwise, people are confused. They're like, wait, so you're just attacking air and it's giving you gold? But this shows you. Look at all these ghosts that are spawning. I just wanted people to get... And then, so then you just start throwing your... let's see. Well, in this case, I grabbed Trick Blood Money as well, I think, for the video that I was showing. But you start throwing the tablet in the air, or you can put an electric stone on top of the wand, and you could farm gold forever. So the devs deemed this as too strong. So what they did is they added in a couple different mechanics, and one of them is that the wand will get sold, but another one is when a ghost spawns in, it spawns in with the purpose of owning a specific wand. So, for example, I'm going to summon in a ghost. Oh, I summoned in two accidentally. Each one of these is a ghost carrying a wand that it was meant, like this ghost on the, oh damn it, they're stacked. This ghost with the tan wand, that ghost had to pick up that wand. If it did not pick up that wand, it would despawn, the ghost would disappear. This ghost carrying this one had to pick up this like fork looking wand, the blue one. So let me show you why that's important. So whenever I summon in, it's cleaner doing it over here. Whenever I summon in the ghost with Summon Taukasauva here, it actually spawns the ghost first and then the wand. So the ghost gets summoned in first, picks up this wand. Actually, this is an empty wand. We want a wand with, there needs to be some kind of spell on it. Otherwise, the ghost won't pick it up. Remember, I just was explaining that. So this ghost spawns in, picks up the wand, and says, wait, this isn't the wand I was supposed to hold, and then despawns and deletes itself with the wrong wand that it picked up, leaving in its place the wand that it was originally meant to grab. And there it goes. And that's why you can just sort through wands in this weird, funky way. Did it all make sense? Did it go full circle? I hope I tied it together. Oh yeah, I was going to show you, though, the other method for farming faster. So we need to find some rocks. But that's all, you know, this mechanic didn't exist in the early days. And like I said, they didn't try to make this system for this. They were messing with other stuff. And the result was we ended up with this cool, like, kind of OP method for looking through the wands and everything. And the tip of the wand dictates the X and Y location of where the new wand spawns in. That's why I'm moving my cursor slightly. I'm trying to get new coordinates for new wands to spawn so that it has different resources. Because if you leave it in the same spot, like look at this, I'm not moving my cursor. You just keep spawning the same wand over and over. Any moments recently, maybe I walked past. Oh, see right there, there's an add mana on this spot. That's a good one to know, because usually people are like, they'll stop by and they'll say, how did you get so many add manas? And it's literally this. If you find this spell, and remember, this spell that we're using, the Summon Taukasauva, it can spawn in hell. In fact, if I was to do any run on any day and somebody said, you have to find Summon Taukasauva today, I will find it. It can take me a little while looking around at hell, but you will find it eventually down there.
Thank you for the answer. Chat, I'm sorry for asking. I just woke up and forget who I'm asking. And Dunk, you could just say it's swapping wands because the wand is on the ground. But thank you.
That sometimes leads to more questions, though. You're like, huh? It's swapping the wand, but why? Why does the ghost just swap it? And then like, the ghost deletes itself. And they say, well, why would they have the wand delete itself? And then so I gave you a history lesson at the same time, just so you understand the dev's thinking. Try to make sure I leave you with no questions. Only answers. Oh, I saw it. I saw a rock. I saw the rock. Just don't move. There it is. A rock! Woo! All that work for a stupid rock. Alright, we pick up a rock, and then we need to find a non-shuffle wand to put it on. This one will work. The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. Good old SpongeBob. And then real quickly, we got to create a small zone. This will be our farming area. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend this technique because it is more kind of laggy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have everything set up to spam wands, meaning if I just spam it like that, we can cast a lot of wands. More wands, the more dangerous, but there becomes a certain point where you can't summon in any more wands. As I summon in a wand, it deletes an already existing wand, because there's the engine's trying to save itself from completely freaking out and crashing. So the problem is, you need to kill them as you're creating them very quickly. So there's homing on a rock, pretty simple. You cast it, and the rock will start beating the shit out of everything. So then we just sit here, summon above it, and as we're summoning in the wands, the rocks are killing the enemies, like immediately. Get the concept? I mean, there's other ways you could do it too. You could build other kind of like homing setups, but the rocks are pretty simple and kind of fun. Pretty cool, right? And then you have a whole wand shop here. So then what you'd have to do after you did that is you would literally have to just do this, like walk through all the wands. And look for whatever resource you're looking for. That's why I was showing you the other method first, because while this method looks cool, it's a bit more chaotic. So you just see people do the old school sorting method usually. So you spent all the time finding a rock for that? Was that disappointing? I thought it was kind of cool. Doesn't it look cool? Very cool, Dunk. Thank you, Nitro. Thank you. Yes, Dunk. Very cool. You're a cool dude, Dunk. All right. All right. You don't gotta say it like that. Now somebody's definitely saying that's a paid chatter. All right. That's a little too sus. Now they're like, that's a bot. That's a fucking bot right there. Fuck you guys.